Hello everyone, welcome to this new Magiline pool tutorial. Today, we're going to show you all the steps to restart your pool. You should restart your pool when the water temperature reaches 15 degrees and the outside temperature fluctuates between 13 and 15 degrees. The first step in restarting your pool is to remove the winter cover that protected the pool from debris during the winter. To do this, the first thing you need to do is remove all the weights that held the cover in place. So, you take them off one by one. Next step, we will unclip the winter cover that's attached to the wall and gather as much debris as possible toward the center. Before opening the cover, let's clean it. Once the larger debris has been removed with the skimmer net, we can move on to the next step, which is restarting the filtration system. In the case of active winterizing, as was done with this pool, we can move on to the next step, which is cleaning and preparing the cartridges. If you have a passive winterizing setup, there are three things to do. Remove the winterizing panels from the unit, reinstall the filtration pump, and take out the winterizing floats. Next step, we will remove the pre-filter as well as the filter cartridge, clean them, and get them ready to restart the filtration. After reinstalling the cartridges and the Magiline in all the filtration units, the pool is ready to operate again. We will now check that the pump's variable speed drive is powered on. Let's say turbo on home. The status LED on the variable speed drive should be lit. Once everything has been checked, we can restart the titration using the Magic's Clicked PK application. We will visually inspect the entire liner in the pool, making sure it is not coming loose, cracked, or damaged. Generally, when restarting, we also turn the heat pump back on. When restarting, we turn the heat pump back on. Be careful once the connections on the heat pump have been reassembled and it is powered on. We will gradually open the bypass valves to protect the hydraulic system. Completely close the main valve in the case of a variable speed pump. In the case of a fixed speed pump, such as an FX pump, this main valve should remain at 400 degrees. Once the hydraulic circuit has been restarted and the pump is powered on, we will check to make sure there are no leaks. Add the connection at the back. Then make sure that the unit is properly powered. Ensure that the unit is properly powered.
Now let's move on to putting back the components related to the treatment. Once the treatment components are back in place, we will reopen the bypass in the same way as for the heat pump, that is gradually, and then completely close the main valve. The pool is now ready to operate. All that's left is to take care of the water chemistry. If the water is green, cloudy, or very dirty, then a shock chlorination will be necessary. To do this, use an appropriate shock chlorine product. Your Magiline distributor will be able to advise you and guide you to the product best suited for your pool. Please note that during shock chlorination, the treatment bypass valves must be closed to protect the probes. The pH should be between 7.2 and 7.4, and the filtration system must run continuously for 24 to 48 hours. We recommend using the run mode on your Imagix app. Before adjusting your pool water parameters, you should first analyze the water. Collect the equivalent of a small bottle of water in a green container and protect the container from light. Bring this water sample to your Magiline distributor for a precise analysis and advice on which products to use. Balance the water according to the recommendations below and in the specified order. First, the TAC. It should be between 150 and 200 ppm. To raise it, use Alka Plus. Calculate the amount to add to your pool and let the filtration run for 24 hours before taking another measurement. Once your pool's TAC level is between 150 and 200 ppm, we can move on to adjusting the pH. The pH should be between 7.2 and 7.4. Attention, pH treatment should not be carried out at the same time as raising the TAC. Once the pH is between 7.2 and 7.4, you can move on to adjusting the other chemical parameters. First, the phosphates. They should be below 0.1 ppm. Next, the TH, which should be below 25 degrees Celsius. Then finally, the stabilizer, which should be below 30 ppm if you have an automatic treatment system and below 70 ppm if you have a manual treatment system. If the stabilizer level is higher than the indicated values, you will need to replace part of the pool water. The final step before you can fully enjoy your pool is adjusting the disinfectant. If you have a saltwater chlorinator, the salt level should be 4.5 grams per liter. If you use chlorine treatment, you need to ensure there is a proper ppm of chlorine in the pool. Once this level is reached, note the redox value indicated by the probe on the Imagix app. This value will be the reference value. Set this as the guideline for the entire season. And there you have it, your pool is now ready to use. All that's left is for you to fully enjoy your Magiline pool throughout the season. See you soon.